thought this was over. You tried to break Trey. Nah, this is a mirror match. And I don't blink.
You walk like a beast, but you break like glass. Trying to throw shade, but you're stuck in the past. You copy my flow, you mirror my name, but you ain't got heart, just hunger for fame. You post online like you're leading a war, but I see through that front, just ego and bore. You act like a king, but you cry like a pawn. Trey Rorschach don't fold, but his fool thinks he can be bold. I've seen the lies, I've heard the scripts. You built your truth on stolen hits, but I write mine in smoke and scars.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Trey Rorschach, and today I'm going to be going over my settings. One of my followers, Astro Crix, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, shout out to him. He wanted to know how my aim was so calm and how I get so accurate. So let's go into it here. So the first thing I'd suggest you do is change motion blur off. I do it on all first person shooter games, all shooter games in general. It just reduces, you know, that blur as you swing from left to right when you're moving the camera really fast, so you've always got a clear picture of your target. So that would be the first thing I would do. If you have any colorblind issues, I would come down to colorblind mode here as well and mess around with these 4 settings until you find something that visually works for you. Frame rate data I put on unlimited, so you will get the most out of it. So that are those settings there. So if we move across to audio, I switch mine to night mode. It makes footsteps, jetpacks, and all the other audio cues much louder, so you know if someone's on your rear right or your rear left, you know which way to turn to get that quick snappy aim. So look into those. I haven't changed much else because I do have a DualSense Edge controller, which also gives me advantage playing these first-person shooters. If you guys want me to do a video on that, please let me know in the comments, and I will do a video on the settings for my controller that I use for these shooter games. So as for gameplay, most of this is up to you, how you feel. If you want, like, I've turned sidearm auto pickup off because I don't really use my sidearm, and you don't really need that sort of extra ammo for your pistol anyway. So if you're running a submachine gun, they run the same ammo, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. Crouch mode, toggle instead of hold. I prefer that. You can go through these, whatever feels comfortable with you. What I really want to go through is my controller settings. So I have set my response curve to linear. I feel that's probably the best sort of response curve for shooting games. I've turned adaptive triggers and vibration off because they will also affect your accuracy. So turn those off. There are my sensitivity settings. I haven't changed per zoom sensitivity yet because I don't really snipe in this game because it's a bit fast paced for me. If it was Call of Duty, I'd be sniping all the time, but I'm getting used to sniping, so I may change them in the future, and I'll do a future video on them. But they are my settings. As you can see, aim sensitivity multiplier I've turned down to 0.6, so you can swing your aim while you're hip firing, but once you aim down sights, you are locked in. You are absolutely locked into where you need to be shooting. So they are my settings, guys. As you can see, I have changed the zoom a little bit there. I forgot I did that, so I might need to change that down a little bit more just to be more accurate with the sniper. But there we are. They are all my settings, guys. I haven't really changed any of the settings underneath this. I feel they work relatively good. So one more thing to check up on, my motion sensor aiming is off, and I've got, you know, the motion blur visual effects to disable. So everything is a lot clearer, everything is a lot better when you're actually aiming down sights and shooting at people. You can see a target, there's no sort of blur, you're not missing a couple of bullets because of that blurring. So just keep that in mind. I am going to leave you with this video. I hope you've enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.